Well, good morning. It's great to see so many people here. I guess the first question to ask is, where's everybody yesterday? must have a big guy in town here. Before I start, I certainly want to do an acknowledgement that we are on traditional and ceded territory of the Wolastoqey, alongside of their neighbours, the Mi'kmaq and the Pescatawakati. Welcome, everybody. It's a big day for me personally. Welcome, Prime Minister, Mayor Reardon. I see Mayor Merrifield, Deputy Mayor McKenzie, councillors. It's a huge day for us in this city, and you know, I am reflective. I started as an MP in 2015 because of this guy, because I believed in him. I believed in a government that can do good things for people. I believe that government with programs to help our most vulnerable is what we're there for. And I wanted to be an advocate for this riding. We've delivered federally over $1.3 billion to this riding. Since 2015, we've transformed this riding. And I'm just so proud to be your member of parliament. So without further ado, I certainly want to welcome our Prime Minister. Welcome back to this beautiful city, my beautiful riding, and over to you.
Thank you, Wayne, for your words, but thank you also for your extraordinary work for the people of St. John. It really is a pleasure to be able to do so much with you here over the past many years. Donna and Mayor Reardon, thank you so much for your welcome as well. Thank you for your leadership as we've come together with this announcement today. I want to thank the assembled councillors, Mayor Merrifield, other officials who are here. This is really about all of us coming together to respond to the challenges that communities and individuals are facing right across the country. I had the opportunity to sit down with April, one of the residents of this building, just earlier, and she talked about how challenging it was to find an affordable place to live, but also how much over the past months she's been able to develop her independence, her sense of building a strong future through having a safe and, quite frankly, excellent place to live that is also affordable, because that really matters. And this building we're in here today is a recipient of federal partnership through the Affordable Housing Fund that delivered this excellent building, along with the work that the Mayor and the province did on this. Just last week, Wayne, you were here with the Mayor as well for a rapid housing announcement over at Barracks Green that is showing what we can do, especially to help the most vulnerable. We know there's real challenges around homeless populations here in the city and across the country that we need to continue to step up on. And those are two different programs, and today we're here to announce a third program, a really big one. C'est le Fonds pour l'accélération de la construction de logements. C'est des accords qu'on signe avec maintenant 22 villes à travers le pays pour accélérer la construction de logements, pour faire plus de logements plus rapidement. C'est une question de réduire les barrières, accélérer les processus dans les villes, accroître la densification, travailler ensemble pour pas seulement faire des annonces comme celle-ci, mais pour livrer une nouvelle façon de bâtir des logements plus rapidement. We're here today for the 22nd Housing Accelerator Fund announcement across the country. We've worked very, very hard with the City of St. John to come to an ambitious proposal that's going to increase densification, that's going to accelerate the processes in terms of building more housing more quickly. They're looking at freeing up public land for housing. They're looking at all the different things that are going to not just make individual projects happen, but change the way all housing is built in this community and, by extension, right across the country. We signed the Housing Accelerator deals with cities that were willing to step up and be bold and ambitious about meeting the growth that Canadians want and need, both in population and in our economy, and that's exactly why I'm so happy to be here. It's about building a better country for everyone, in which people can have that building block and that pathway towards greater and greater success by having a secure and affordable place to live. We know that people are worried that the promise of Canada doesn't hold the way it used to. That promise that every generation should be able to succeed even better than the one before because of the work that we've done over generations and generations. People look at the challenges the world is facing right now and the challenges we're facing in our communities right across the country, and they're worried that maybe that idea and that promise of progress doesn't hold anymore. Well, that's why we're working so hard to secure that promise, to make the kind of investments that are going to create an even better country and even better opportunities for everyone. It's hard work, but the way it gets done is by rolling up our sleeves and doing it together. And that's why I'm so pleased to be here with the Mayor and the municipality on this one. There's other programs we've worked very closely with the province on, including, for example, accelerating the construction of apartment buildings. We've removed the GST on the federal side. We encourage New Brunswick to match what the other Atlantic provinces have done and also remove the GST on the provincial side to make sure that the math works to build more and more rental homes, rental housing across the city, across the province, and indeed across the country. Beaucoup de travail encore à faire, mais on va être là pour le faire en partenariat, en travaillant pour bâtir un avenir meilleur. Canada is the best country in the world. We're going to keep working together to make it even better. Merci beaucoup. Happy now to pass it over to Mayor Reardon. Donna.
Prime Minister, it's an honour to be here with you today and with our MP Wayne Long for this announcement. We're a small city with a big heart, and so we have to be bold, and the Prime Minister spoke about that today. I have a few notes I would like to read because there are a lot of important details that the Housing Accelerator will help us with. It's a pivotal moment for St. John as we collaborate with the federal government on the Housing Accelerator Fund. This partnership is more than just a financial commitment, it's a promise to our residents. As a city, we're dedicated to accelerating the development of affordable housing, ensuring every member of our community has a place to call home. Exactly what the Prime Minister said. This initiative is more than just building houses, it's about building a future. Together, we're laying the foundation for a stronger, more inclusive community where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Today's announcement of $9.18 million in funding from Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation through the Housing Accelerator Fund means 285 additional housing units will be created within our city over the next 3 years. It brings transformational and, most importantly, systemic change at the municipal level that will continue to move us forward in creating a community that is conducive to housing and focuses on addressing the housing challenges faced both here in St. John and throughout Canada. St. John's Housing Accelerator Fund plan includes incentives to help increase construction of apartments, townhouses, and secondary suites. It also includes incentives for the creation of affordable units, public land redevelopment, amendments to the zoning bylaw to permit additional density in key areas, introducing an electronic permitting system, and longer-term governance considerations. Today's announcement shows the Government of Canada recognizes that housing is the cornerstone of healthy, vibrant, and inclusive communities and the need for assisting municipalities in addressing local housing challenges. On behalf of St. John City Council and the residents of St. John, I thank you for supporting us today. Housing is considered by your federal government as a right. So this demonstrates that, I guess, you put your money where your mouth is. If you say housing is a right, they come to the table with $9.18 million for St. John. It's great news. And the other thing I'll say is, as a small city with a big heart, we have to be bold and we want to grow. And I'm going to use your father's line and I'm going to say, just watch us. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Donna.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you. We'll now turn over for questions. On va maintenant prendre les questions. All New Brunswick News.
Hi, good morning. My question has to do with developers. With inflation and interest rates posing to be big challenges for developers to get projects off the ground, can you comment on what the federal government is doing to help developers actually build apartment buildings? Well,
actually, we've done a couple of really big things. We announced a increase to the loan programs from $40 billion to $60 billion to help with financing of construction of the rental constructions. We've also, in taking the GST off of new apartment building constructions, it actually makes the math work that much better. We understand that the cost of labor, the cost of resources and materials is going up with inflation. We're working on bringing inflation down, and it's steadily been coming down over the past year. But we knew that we needed to be there to help make the math work for developers to actually build it. I know the city has programs as well to support the construction of particularly affordable and middle-income range rental housing. We're going to continue to be there to make sure that everyone is working together to build the kind of future we need for Canada.
Next question.
Bonjour, Sébastien Caron pour CEBA. On sait que la construction de logements a un autre problème aussi, c'est la main-d'œuvre. Comment on va faire pour avancer sur ce point-là?
À travers le pays, on fait face à une pénurie de main-d'œuvre, particulièrement dans nos systèmes de santé et dans la construction. C'est pour ça qu'on est en train de regarder comment on peut accélérer la certification de travailleurs et d'amener des gens qui vont pouvoir se mettre au boulot tout de suite pour bâtir des maisons pour la communauté. On sait que l'immigration fait partie de la solution. Il faut qu'on le fasse, continue de le faire de façon responsable, mais c'est exactement ce qu'on va continuer de faire.
Prochaine question.
Hi. I know the city's application was originally put for 14.5 million. I think the mayor say about 9.8 million is given. What went into determining how much each municipality received?
We put forward $4 billion a couple of years ago for the express purpose of making sure that cities were able to meet their own ambitions for growth, for opportunity for their citizens. There's a lot of hard work and a lot of partnership going into looking at what could actually be done, what is the right level of it. We came down with an agreement around $9.18 million for the Housing Accelerator Fund, which we feel is the right level to really enable St. John to accelerate, to get more homes built faster, to get people into those homes in an affordable way, and we're really pleased with that announcement.
Next question.
Good morning, Prime Minister. I wanted to ask about the CEBA program. Of course, the deadline is coming up tomorrow. What was the reasoning behind not extending that program, and is there any concerns about the impacts this could have on businesses who are still trying to recover from COVID?
We have consistently been there for small businesses across this country since we got elected, since 2015, where we lowered small business taxes. We've actually increased the capacity of small businesses to grow and still benefit from small business taxes. And during COVID, we knew we had to step up right away to support small businesses so people could keep their doors open, keep their employees on the payroll. We stepped up with significant supports, including direct help to Canadians, but also direct help to small businesses with the CEBA loans. We understand that things, even as the economy has bounced back from COVID, continue to be challenging, which is why we extended twice the repayment deadline for the CEBA loans. But we are now far enough from the pandemic that we do have to wrap up pandemic programs. Businesses have a number of different options if they're facing challenges around the CEBA loans. One is obviously, as the majority of businesses have done, they can repay the CEBA loan by the 18th and benefit from the forgiveness that comes with that. If they can't quite make it by the 18th, there are plenty of financial institutions who are there to give low-cost loans to be able to benefit those businesses as they continue to repay it over the coming years. And if they don't want to engage with their financial institutions, they still have 3 years to repay the entire body of the loan. So there are many different options out there, and as a government, we're going to continue to be there and look for ways to encourage small businesses that are the backbone of our communities, the backbone of our economy. We will continue to be there for them in many different ways, but pandemic supports, we all know, had to end at one point. Bien sûr. Nous avons toujours été là pour les petites entreprises. On comprend à quel point les petites entreprises sont au cœur de, pas seulement nos communautés, mais notre économie à travers le pays. C'est pour ça que quand la pandémie a frappé, on a agi rapidement pour permettre aux entreprises particulièrement les petites entreprises, de continuer de passer à travers ces moments extrêmement difficiles. Avec la reprise économique, on est passé au-delà de la pandémie, mais on reconnaissait que les temps étaient quand même difficiles, particulièrement avec l'inflation qu'on a vue au cours des dernières années. C'est pour ça qu'on a fait 2 extensions déjà au programme de prêt CEBA. Maintenant, les entreprises ont différentes options. Ils peuvent repayer avant le 18, comme la majorité des petites entreprises ont pu faire dans les dernières années. Ils peuvent aussi travailler avec leur institution financière pour refinancer ce prêt, pour bénéficier encore du retour qu'on est en train d'offrir. Mais ils peuvent aussi juste prendre 3 ans encore pour repayer à de taux d'intérêt extrêmement favorables par rapport à ce prêt-là. Alors, on va continuer de travailler avec les petites entreprises à travers le pays pour s'assurer qu'on continue de créer de la croissance et qu'on les aide de différentes façons, mais les soutiens COVID, il fallait qu'ils finissent à un moment donné et ce sera maintenant.
Prochaine question.
Oui. Marie-Ève Bégin, Radio-Canada, bonjour. Je demande pour CBC aussi, évidemment. Donc, concernant l'exemption sur la taxe carbone pour le chauffage au mazout ici en Atlantique, ça a permis de calmer une certaine grogne au sein de votre caucus ici en Atlantique. Est-ce que vous sentez, depuis l'annonce, que sur le terrain, ça a aidé à gagner en popularité pour vous au sein des citoyens de l'Atlantique?
Mais c'était jamais une question de popularité, c'était une question de répondre aux besoins réels auxquels les gens faisaient face avec les prix volatiles au niveau de l'énergie, avec l'inflation que les gens étaient en train de vivre. On a compris que des gens, pas seulement dans les provinces de l'Atlantique, mais à travers le pays, souffraient à cause du coût de l'huile de chauffage, à cause de la volatilité des prix internationaux là-dessus, et aussi parce que l'huile de chauffage, c'est plus polluant que d'autres façons de chauffer sa maison. C'est pour ça qu'on a eu comme but d'essayer de passer au-delà de l'huile de chauffage. Et la simple prise sur la pollution n'était pas tout à fait l'outil adéquat pour encourager et pour aider les gens à faire cette transition. Donc, on a choisi de mettre une pause sur le prix sur la pollution sur ce produit exact, sur l'huile de chauffage, pour pouvoir encourager des gens à travers le pays d'en finir avec l'huile de chauffage, d'installer des thermopompes électriques. C'est pour ça qu'on est en train de travailler, justement, avec les provinces de l'Atlantique, mais avec d'autres provinces à travers le pays, pour bonifier le programme, pour que les gens à faible revenu puissent installer un thermopompe électrique à aucun coût pour les aider à plus être dépendants de l'huile de chauffage qui est plus chère et plus polluant. C'est un programme, effectivement, qui aide beaucoup dans les provinces de l'Atlantique, mais à travers le pays, il y a énormément de gens qui dépendent encore de l'huile de chauffage et c'est souvent des gens plus vulnérables. C'est pour ça qu'on est là pour aider sur le terrain et je pense que les gens comprennent à quel point c'est important, oui, de lutter contre les changements climatiques, mais d'assurer l'abordabilité et le bien-être des familles pendant qu'on fait cette transition.
J'aurais une autre petite question concernant le temps des fêtes et vos vacances en Jamaïque. On sait que vous avez reçu l'aval du commissaire à l'éthique, mais au-delà de ça, est-ce que vous pensez que c'est un cadeau qui pourrait être mal perçu par les citoyens qui se serrent la ceinture? Est-ce que vous pensez changer votre approche par rapport à ça?
Comme énormément de familles canadiennes, on est allé rester chez des amis pour les vacances de Noël. Toutes les règles ont été suivies.
Merci.
Next question.
In New Brunswick recently, there's been a lot of rhetoric about gender-affirming care, and the Premier is making a lot of comments about potentially scaling that back. I'm wondering if you're worried about that rhetoric and whether you're worried the province will scale back gender-affirming care.
I think Canada is the best country in the world, in part because Canadians respect each other. And in Canada, people are free to be who they are, to love whom they love. It's something that our party and, quite frankly, millions of Canadians will always stand to defend. Unfortunately, we are seeing in certain parts of the country, in certain political parties, try to instrumentalize divisions or intolerance into political advantage. We're a party that will always stand with everyone, be there to defend people's rights to be who they are, and I think that's something that all Canadians expect of their governments. We're a government that will always stand up for people's rights.
Well, given the challenges that healthcare is facing across the country, and no surprise in New Brunswick, would you then scale back health transfers as you did with abortion should something come down the pipe?
It is part of the federal government's responsibility to ensure that health care is provided to all citizens in the right way. We've recently put on the table hundreds of billions of dollars to improve healthcare services for all Canadians. Indeed, part of what we're asking for is a greater level of transparency and accountability, not necessarily to the federal government, but to citizens about the results that are being delivered by the significant investments from all of our tax dollars into the healthcare systems across the country. People have a right to expect top quality healthcare, and the federal government will always be active in ensuring that people get it.
Next question.
Good morning. My question is about Robert Mailman and Walter Gillespie. These are two gentlemen who just were wrongfully convicted of murder. Your Justice Minister had a part of that starting. There's been some apologies offered. There has been some lukewarm response of a review, but there hasn't been much said about compensation. What can you say about compensation for these two gentlemen? Is it a priority, keeping in mind that these are older gentlemen and one has just been diagnosed with terminal cancer?
Obviously, we take this situation extremely seriously. We're going through the appropriate steps right now. I'm not going to comment more than that, but I can tell you that the Justice Minister is seized with this, and we will be looking at all different options.
Last question.
Hi, Mr. Prime Minister. I was wondering regarding South Africa's case against Israel. Will Canada abide by the findings of the ICJ?
I was very, very clear on this last week, and I'm happy to repeat it. Canada has always supported the international rules-based order and the structures around international law, including and especially the International Court of Justice. We have a direct engagement in 5 different cases before the ICJ right now because we believe in the work it does. At the same time, our support for the ICJ and its processes does not mean that we accept the premise of the case brought forward by South Africa, and we are watching carefully as all the steps unfold.
So what will Canada do in case ICJ finds that Israel did commit genocide?
I'm not going to comment on what could be an eventual finding by a process that we support as it unfolds. Okay. Je ne vais pas commenter sur des décisions qui pourraient être prises par la Cour de justice internationale avant qu'elles ne soient prises.
Merci beaucoup. C'est ce qui m'a fait la conférence de presse.
Merci tout le monde. Thank you so much.
Thank you.